Hi, so my name is Priscilla, and this is my first time doing a video like this. So please don't criticize me because I'm totally not used to this. But so yeah, I am on my roof. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to talk about something real quick. And that topic is really about how us Christians should live. And, okay, here's the thing. I'm not saying that we should live isolated and be totally different than the world. No, I'm not saying that. But in a sense, that is what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be a light to the world. Jesus even said for us to be a light into the world and to share his goodness and his love. But it seems like today Christians are putting so much more importance and effort and time into social media, checking their stats on Facebook, Snapchatting, Instagramming, Twittering, or if that's what you call it, and all these other things, and instead of focusing on the meaning of life and why we're even here and why we're even put in this earth and why we even have a chance to live. And another thing that Christians are starting to put in so much importance in is school and studying. They end up spending so much time at school, and then they have sports after school, and then after sports they have to study for their tests and for school and for all these different things. And then when they actually get free time, they have to go take a shower, brush their teeth, and go to bed, and they don't have any time to actually spend time with their Creator. And I think that's wrong, because us Christians, we're supposed to be the people who are saying, okay, no, I am going to set this part for the Creator, for the reason, this is why I'm living, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this time there for me to spend time with my Creator. That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be saying, okay, get home from school, study. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do good in school. And I'm not saying that social media is terrible, okay? But, I don't have social media, so I can't actually say it's terrible. But what I'm saying is, we can't put other things before the importance of God. We shouldn't put all this worldly stuff in front of our time with God. Why? Because our time with God is what's really gonna it's really gonna choose where we're gonna go for eternity. And eternity's a long time, okay? If you think about eternity, your mind can't wrap around it, because human minds, we think, okay, a day, 24 hours, half a day, 12 hours, a week, however long that is, 72 hours, that's really bad math, 72 hours, 168 hours, all these different things, and we're thinking, okay, we have 89 years to live, or whatever. And we can't think beyond that yet. We could think of 100 years, 200 years, 3,000 years, 4,000 years, 5,000 years, 6,000 years, 10,000 years. We could think in years, but when we think eternity, forever, our minds can't wrap around it, because our minds weren't made to wrap around that reality. It just wasn't. And I think that really we're putting way too much worth on this temporary life. So much more worth than we should. And I'm not saying, I'm not condemning anyone, because I know I do it too. Sometimes I get home from school and I mentor after school, so my weeks are busy, and then I have work on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I have a busy life too, and I can say that many times I've gotten home and instead of going to my Bible, instead of praying, instead of thanking God for the wonderful day I had, or instead of going and worshiping Him on my guitar or my keyboard or just singing praises to Him, I end up going to the computer and emailing a friend, or, going to the computer and studying for my biology test that isn't in for like 2 weeks just because I don't want to fail it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't put effort into school, because, yes, you should put effort into school. And really, but what I noticed is, so I'm going to use an example. I don't study a lot. Okay, I study for tests, for exams, for the big stuff. But for the little stuffs, I just pay attention in class and do my homework. For the past couple years, I was putting the worldly stuff ahead of everything else. But last year and this year, I've been putting a lot of time into my relationship with God. And I noticed that the more time you put in your relationship with God, the more He blesses you. I haven't been studying any more than I was before. And I've been on high honors for the past 2 years. And before then, I'd have A's, B's, nothing below B. But still, now I'm having A pluses, A's, nothing below an A minus. And I haven't been studying anymore. I haven't been going extra help any more than I usually do. I haven't been doing any extra work, any other study guides. No, I've been taking the time that I would use to study, and I've been going and reading my Bible, or going and playing a worship song, singing, praying. And I've noticed that the more time you put with your relationship with God, the more He blesses you. And those things that you're spending time on, those things, it's He's okay, you're spending time with me. You're showing that all those things that you would spend time on, it's you don't have to spend as much time, because He's just going to bless you. And I'm not saying you have to stop studying. No, you still have to study, but it's when you actually go to take that test, your mind won't freeze. And I'm not saying every time your mind won't freeze, but I'm just saying you'll see a difference. It's when you take the time, He blesses you. So, and another thing, us Christians are supposed to shine our lights. And seriously, I have friends who call themselves Christians, but once one of my friends went on her, it was either Instagram or Facebook. I can't really tell the difference. And man, it's getting cold out here. And some of the stuff on there was dude, why would you post that? That's not good. And nowadays it's oh, you can wear whatever you want, you can go on this and go on that. And I'm not condemning you, and I'm not saying everyone says this, but seriously, when my dad was a kid, he even told me that you would look across the street and you could tell if a Christian was coming. That's how different they were. And now it's so many people call themselves Christians. I'm almost ashamed to call myself a Christian. Why? Because in my school, there are so many people who call themselves Christian, and you look at their lifestyle and it's terrible. The things they do, the things they say, it's so ungodly and so unchristian. And seriously, I'm ashamed to call myself a Christian. I'd rather call myself a devoted follower of Jesus Christ than call myself a Christian, because the meaning of Christian has lost its purpose, because the Christian has lost its light. And I'm not saying all Christians are like this, but I'm saying we need to shine. We need to be like that candle in the dark room, like that fish going against the tide. We need to be the ones standing up when everyone's sitting. We need to be the ones that stick out. Not stick out because of bad. No, stick out and then people are saying, what's so different about you? That's what the church was supposed to be. That's what they were envisioned to be. That's what they used to be. So yeah. That's all I really had to say. And I'm not trying to offend anyone or say anything bad. And I'm not accusing everyone of this. Look. We need to put more importance on our time with God and less importance on this worldly stuff. Like, the things you see with your eyes are gonna fade one day, but the things you have your faith in, like Jesus, he's not going away. And when I stand before God on that day, I want him to welcome me with open arms and say, welcome home, my good and faithful servant. And I don't want him to be questioning me on, why were you spending so much time on social media, on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook? And I'm not saying you shouldn't get it. I'm just saying it shouldn't consume all your time. Neither should studying. We should get to a point in our relationship with God where we look forward to that prayer in our room on our knees. We look forward to having the time to read the Bible. We look forward to singing his praises. And that the things of the world don't interest us anymore. I think that's what the church was meant to be. So, shine your light. God bless.